Normally, I'd save reaction videos to my wrestling channel. Normally, wrestling reactions, normally sports reactions, are more positive than this shit. It's been, look on the PlayStation. It's 11:50. Been about 2 hours or so, maybe hour. I don't know, since Dodgers and Phillies ended. And there's no words. There are zero words. A lot of people are going to say the bats went cold. This is on the bats. No, that's not on the bats. I think if you look through game 4, you got low offensive production. That's the usual. But they were hitting. They were making contact. Dodgers pitched a good game. This falls again on the bullpen. The bullpen gave it up in game 1. You got great pitching in game 2. Bullpen didn't come around again. Game 3 looked okay. Then you get the game 4. Bullpen shut down, lights out. Luzardo, gets to a little jam. But the one pitcher you don't bring in, Orion Kerkering, who makes an all-time boneheaded play. Ha-Sung Kim was so safe at home plate. You do not, in that circumstances, make the throw to home. JT was pointing to first base, telling Kerkering, throw to first. Paez was out by a mile. You throw the home with no chance in hell. Bonehead play. You've been in the playoffs for 3 seasons. Don't tell me that you've got the lights caught up on you. No. It's not the lights getting on you. That's a boneheaded play. Know what you see. Look what you have. You had Paez out easily. Even with the bobble, out easy. Nah, man. Instead, you throw it the home where you have a fast runner. They got a pinch runner in at home, third plate, for a reason. They brought in a pinch runner for a reason. You mean to tell me you wasn't looking at that? The bullpen has been the weakest link for the Phillies the past 2 postseasons. Estevez against the Mets. Now Kerkering versus the Dodgers. This was the one team, the only team, that honestly could have beat the Dodgers and stopped them from a dynasty. Yeah. Line up the lineup. The starting rotation. The problems that eluded them both was bullpen depth. Because what are you going to do? You saw in game 3. You get to the Dodgers bullpen, bang. Runs galore. You get to the Phillies bullpen, bang. Runs galore. What happens? Kerkering comes in. For some unknown reason, throws it the home plate. What are you doing? What are you doing? That's an immediate no. That's a no. You gotta throw the first. 2 outs. 2 outs. In my twisted mind, this game 4 is continuing. The Dodgers' momentum halted. Halted at a high. Halted. With a chance in what would be the 13th inning? Maybe the 13th inning, I think. But instead, game over. Season over. Another disappointing year. And Rob Thompson, I'm looking at you. I am looking at you. You, sir, have made decision after decision after decision that has backfired in the postseason every single year. I don't get why you don't talk to your players, to your big stars, and tell them, hey, let's ease it up just a little bit. But you're just letting them do free will? For what reason? You're the manager? You're supposed to have control. You're supposed to talk to your players. You're supposed to have meetings with your players if something isn't going right. Instead of just watching it on the side, back and forth, and then your trusted arms, Strom, Kirkering, go in, blow games, back and forth. You have better arms. Miza didn't even get a look at for some reason. Who the hell knows? Suarez didn't even get a look until game 3, and you saw how the hell he did. Why didn't you use him in games 1 or 2 when he was ready out the bullpen? That makes no sense. That might have been the last game that Ranger Suarez ever plays in the Phillies uniform. Might have been the last game that JT ever plays in the Phillies uniform. The last game that Castellanos ever plays in the Phillies uniform. And for God's sakes, for how many times Castellanos gets flack, he is the best big bat player in Phillies postseason history. And I don't want to hear about Bryce Harper because Bryce Harper is number 1. Castellanos is number 2. For God's sakes, if we needed a big hit, Castellanos was there. Meaning a defensive play, Castellanos was there. Castellanos deserves a ton of praise, ton of love. Stop hating on him. And I know I said my hate about Castellanos, but by God, he is freaking amazing. Kyle Schwarber, cold. Price's Stott is bunting in game 2 with the game on the line. For what? With no outs. Use him because he's come through in the clutch before. Last year, you didn't pay attention to that? I'm so angry. I'm so disappointed. I said on my story that the Philadelphia Eagles set the blueprint to winning. And that the Phillies, the Sixers, and the Flyers, although the Flyers are in a good rebuild right now. I can't complain about the Flyers. They're in a great rebuild. But the Phillies and the Sixers needed to wake the fuck up. Sixers have been a consistent first and second round exit. The Phillies, what the hell have you done for me lately? Forget the World Series. World Series is done. Went to the NLCS. That's done. The past 2 seasons, out in 4 games, in the NLDS in the first round, with that roster, with the depth that you have, the rotation that you have, disappointing. Absolutely disappointing. You have wasted, from 2020 to present, the best years of your starting rotation. Specifically, Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler is the best damn 5-season pitcher I've ever seen. Or 5-year pitcher, 6-season pitcher I've ever seen. 2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24, 25. Consistently good pitching. Aaron Nola, forget 2025. The best damn pitcher we've had for a while. Luzardo, shaky, great pitcher to finish off. Great pitching to finish off. Sanchez, amazing. Recently had a breakout year this year. Great season last year. Was a good fringe a couple of years ago in 23. Suarez, we already know about Suarez. You have wasted these years of consistently good starting rotating pitching. And one thing I won't forget the Phillies for, which I totally freaking hate, sick to my stomach for, someone with the vibe of Rhys Hoskins. not being re-signed, letting him walk to the Brewers, and look what the Brewers are doing. I believe the Brewers are right now winning. Alexa, are the Brewers winning?
The Chicago Cubs are leading the Milwaukee Brewers 6-0 in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Well, never mind.
With 1 out and none on, Nico Horner is at the plate. The count is 0-1.
Never mind. Never mind. But you know what? You let Rhys Hoskins walk in free agency in 2024. You don't re-sign him because you have Bryce Harper at first base. Cool. That's fine. I think Rhys could have made a great DH. A good bench bat. Regardless. You can make him learn a new position or not. There's some players that need to go, though. There's a lot of change that needs to happen within the front office. Because this can't continue. This level of consistencies can't continue. I'm talking to the Sixers also. These level of inconsistencies cannot continue. You are wasting the prime of one of the best big men in Sixers history, perhaps the best big man in Sixers history, in Joel Embiid. And he has no help, no injury recovery whatsoever. Wasting his prime when he could have been an NBA champion, a finals MVP. But you pairing him up with a guy who can't shoot. You're pairing him up with a guy who's past his prime. You're pairing him up with another guy past his prime. You're paying these big-time players these money for what? Paying players like Paul George and James Harden for what? Tobias Harris gone. For what? What you didn't pay Jimmy Butler for. Embarrassing. I said this before, say it again. The Eagles set the blueprint for winning. They have 2 Super Bowls in this time period. 2017 season, 2017, 2018, 2024, 2025. The Eagles set the standard for winning. You should follow that. You should look into that. But you're not. And that's embarrassing because they cannot continue to keep winning. It gets tiring seeing the same team winning over and over in your city. Look at Boston. They got tired of the Patriots winning, so here come the Bruins who won the Stanley Cup in 2011, and here come the Celtics who won the NBA championship in 24. Look at a city like Los Angeles. They saw the Lakers win for so long. The Dodgers just got back to win. The Lakers won a title in 2020. Before that, the Kings won 2 titles. They want more consistency. The Clippers are starting to get back on the run. They have the Galaxy who's starting to come around. Miami. The finals for the Heat. They made the finals for 2020 and 2023. What a great run they've been on. Look at Florida. Now you look at the Panthers. Because apparently they count. They got tired of watching the Heat. They got tired of seeing the Dolphins disappoint. And the Marlins ain't nothing. So look at this. The Panthers come around. Whoop-de-doo, here's a win. Tampa Bay's got 2 Stanley Cup back-to-back when they won the Super Bowl. Pay attention to those kind of cities that are winning. They're doing something right that Philadelphia isn't doing. It's becoming tiring. The same old story. Just a different damn year. I am losing my mind. And I will not be in Philadelphia to watch my Phillies or my Sixers or my Eagles, my Flyers, hell, even the Union. And I know the Union got a good playoff run in them coming up. And I want to see them win too. It is time for a change in Philadelphia. It's time for a change. I can't keep seeing the Eagles win Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. It's nice, but we need some diversity. We need a World Series. We need an NBA championship. I feel a Stanley Cup is coming at some point with the young roster that the Flyers have. There's going to be an MLS Cup that comes around at some point. But we need something different. Philly needs something different. Rob Thompson, gone. He has to go. Who knows what's going to happen in free agency? With JT, Kyle Schwarber, Castellanos, The pitching with Suarez gone. Is Zach Wheeler gonna retire? Nobody's considered that. A thoracic outlet syndrome. This sucks. This sucks balls to just look and feel this way. Change this. Change this. I can't keep feeling this pain anymore. Sucks balls to just sit here and feel this way. I gotta go.